Are you looking for an easier way to write introductions for your blogs? Perhaps you're fed up staring at your screen and hoping your eyeball-grabbing introduction will type itself. And I can imagine you certainly don't want to feel you've wasted your time writing your amazing blog if your introduction doesn't do its job and keep the reader on your page. In this video, I'm going to share with you how you can structure your introduction and also share 3 tips and ideas for writing your blog introductions to hook your reader and keep them reading. So what makes your blog introduction good? Well, it's an introduction that grabs the attention of your reader. It's specific, it's to the point, and it's also interesting. So we can expect quite a lot from our intros to our blogs. Because from their first sentence, you want to keep them on the path to reading your blog. Now, after you've hooked them in with your first line, you can then move on to letting them know that this blog really is for them. So when you think about it, what's your reader's experience of this problem that you're blogging about? And how does it make them feel? You can then tell them what your blog is about, how it's going to help them, and the benefits that they'll get after reading your blog. Now, your reader will love it when they feel understood. So the first type of introduction I'd like to share with you is the empathy introduction. I also know it as the "yeah, that's me" intro. So this is an introduction that works well if you've been where your reader has been. So what have you struggled with, but now you know how to do it better and get fabulous results? Empathy, it works so well in blog introductions. And you can show empathy by asking your reader questions in your introduction, explaining how you struggled, and then going on to explain how your blog is going to help them. So a little bit of an example is this one here. So the questions that you might want to ask could be along the lines of these ones to get them nodding along and go, "yeah, that's me." So are you fed up that no one's engaging with your content on social media? Utterly confused as to why others get loads of engagement while you're ignored? Are you feeling that social media isn't for you? You can then go on to tell them that you understand because you struggled with this too. It was exactly the same for you. And then how you're going to share with them in your blog what you did, what you changed, what you did differently to get way better results from your social media efforts. Blog intro idea number 2. I call this the 2 big questions and blog explainer introduction. Now, there is an organisation that does this brilliantly, Social Media Examiner. The vast majority of their blogs start with a couple of questions and then explain what the blog is about and why it's worth your time reading the blog. So let's have a look at 3 examples taken from the website of the Social Media Examiner. And you'll see the 3 that I'm going to share with you follow the same format for their introduction. Now, there's nothing to say that you can't write introductions like this too. Give them a go. It could be enough to hook your reader in. Blog introduction idea number 3. Write an eyeball-grabbing data or shocking fact in your first line. So what data or fact would shock or grab the attention of your audience? Now, of course, it's not any old fact. It's got to relate to your blog post, and not one you've made up just to get clicks either. Now, using a statistic or a fact at the beginning of your blog can be that great way to keep your reader reading. So thinking about your industry, your audience, your ideal client, what information could come as a surprise to them that you could use in your blog introduction? Use this statistic as a way to hook them in But then be sure to create your introduction that takes into account what your reader's experience of this problem is and how does it make them feel. Now, perhaps if you're a mindfulness coach and a concern that you have about your audience is that they're spending far too much time on technology, specifically their mobile phones, and you've worked with people who their mental health has been affected through overuse of technology, then perhaps this is an introduction that could work for you. 4.8 hours a day. That's how many hours adults in the UK are spending on their mobile phones. Every day. That's 1,752 hours every year. Now perhaps you've noticed you're reaching for your mobile phone more often, or you feel lost when you haven't checked it for the latest updates, and you want to reduce how much time you spend on your phone but don't know how to. In this blog, and you could go on to explain what this blog is going to be about and how you're going to be helped reduce the time you spend on your mobile phone. So one thing I get asked is, when is the best time to write your blog introduction? You're going to hate my answer because, well, it depends. There are times when your introduction just seems to flow, and there's times that it doesn't, and it can feel a real struggle to get it written. Now, sometimes I write my introduction first because this then helps me to keep on track and not go off topic when I'm writing my blogs. Sometimes I have no idea how I want to start, so I'll write my blog first and then I'll go back and write my introduction last. But the key is to write an introduction that encourages your reader to start reading and keep on reading until they reach the end of your blog. So which of these 3 ideas will you use for writing your blog introductions? So let me know in the comments below. If you've got any questions or comments on today's video, then please feel free to pop them below. And also, if you haven't already, then please subscribe to my video. Now, what happens is, with every new subscriber, I celebrate with a cup of tea. I love tea, what can I say? So if you'd like me to have another cup of tea today, then please go on, hit that subscribe button now. See you next time.